10 signs it's time to let someone go. Letting someone go is one of the hardest decisions you will face as a leader. If you are like most new managers, you have probably wondered, is it time to fire this person or should I give them another chance? Making this call is tough, it's emotional, it's stressful, and it has a real impact on the team. But the truth is, there are clear indicators that show when it's time to let someone go. Today, we are going to cover 10 signs that tell you it might be time to move on from an employee, whether it's due to underperformance, cultural misalignment, or something deeper. Hi, I am Ruth Valverde. I have had leadership roles in corporate for the last 8 years, driving more than 100 million in cash gains and savings at top companies in America. And now I teach other leaders how to do the same. By the end of this video, you will have a coaching-first approach that ensures you're doing everything possible to support your team. And when firing is the only option left, you will feel confident knowing it's the right decision. The first sign is consistent underperformance. If someone isn't meeting targets or failing behind on their responsibilities, the instinct might be to let them go. But before you get there, you need to assess how much coaching they have received. Start by setting a specific, measurable goals for improvement. Offer additional training, mentorship, or smaller tasks to help them regain confidence. Be clear about what success looks like and check in frequently to track progress. When it's time to let them go, if after multiple check-ins, additional training, and clear guidance, the employee continues to underperform and shows no effort to improve, it may be time to part ways. At this point, the issue might be deeper than skill. Perhaps it's a lack of motivation. Find out and help them find a role that suits them better. When you are a manager, you must get to know people's motivations, strengths, and weaknesses. You can guide them and help them with their career too. They may be not the best fit for your team, but the perfect candidate for a different role. I created another video that explains how to fire someone with dignity and respect. Link in the video's description. When an employee negatively impacts team morale, it can often be due to misunderstandings or communication problems. Instead of assuming they are a bad fit, consider this as an opportunity to coach them on team dynamics. Provide to them specific examples of how their behaviors affects others. Work with them to develop better communication strategies. Sometimes offering workshops or peer feedback sessions can help them see the team's perspective. If, after several attempts to improve collaboration and communication, the employee remains disruptive or resistant to change, then it's time to consider whether their performance is doing more harm than good to the team's culture. If an employee resists feedback, this is usually a sign of insecurity or discomfort with change. But feedback is a critical part of growth, so this is where coaching can make a huge difference. Work on creating a feedback culture that feels less threatening. Break feedback down into smaller, actionable steps and encourage two-way communication where they can share their concerns as well. If the employee continues to be defensive or resistant after multiple feedback sessions and shows no willingness to grow, it may indicate that they are not open to improvement. In that case, it may be time to move on. A lack of accountability is often a sign that the employee hasn't learned how to take responsibility for their work. This is definitely something that can be coached. Help them understand the impact of their work on the broader team. Set clear expectations and ask them to regularly report on their progress. You might also pair them with a mentor who demonstrates strong accountability. If, after multiple discussions and clear expectation setting, they continue to avoid responsibility and blame others, it's a sign that they are not ready to take ownership of their role. At that point, you may need to make a change. Also, subscribe to this channel to become the best version of a leader you can be by learning together about tons of amazing leadership strategies. Cultural misalignment doesn't necessarily mean someone isn't capable. It often means they haven't fully absorbed the company's values or ways of working. These two can be coached. Reinforce the company's core values and help them understand how their role fits into the larger mission. Offer opportunities to participate in team building activities or mentor them through projects that align with your company's culture. You can influence the behavior change by role modeling, explaining the values, and reinforce them by repetition and demonstration on your own skin daily. If you need more personalized help with any of these topics, I have a program for leaders. Link is in the video description so you can apply to make sure that we are a fit to work together. If the employee continues to clash with the company's culture or shows no effort to align with the values after coaching, it may indicate that they aren't a long-term fit. Cultural alignment is key to team cohesion. So in this case, parting ways may be the right option. If an employee seems disengaged, they are likely feeling disconnected from their work. This is your chance to re-engage them through coaching. Ask open-ended questions to understand what is causing their disengagement. Sometimes it's a lack of challenge, and other times it's personal issues. You can adjust their responsibilities or offer projects that align with their interests to help them reignite their passion. I once had an employee who I knew he was very smart, but he was just so disengaged with his position. So I asked him some questions to understand what he truly liked, and luckily I had the perfect position for him within the team. So I make some arrangements to give him some of the responsibilities that I knew that he truly enjoyed, and that simple change made all the difference. He became a great performer, and his attitude, he was so engaged and so happy because we listened to what he really wanted to do, and we were lucky enough to have the possibility to rearrange the responsibilities and duties within the team so he could own something that truly gave him joy, and thus the performance and productivity of the team grew, and of course his loyalty and satisfaction with the company and our team. But if after multiple attempts to re-engage them, they show no interest in improving or reconnecting with their work, it's time to consider whether they are committed to the role. At that point, it may be in the best interest of both parties to move on. Everyone makes mistakes, but repeated mistakes often signal a gap in skills or attention to detail. Instead of letting this frustrate you, use it as a chance to provide targeted training. You can provide additional training that focuses on the specific areas where they are struggling. Break down tasks into smaller, manageable pieces, and check in regularly to ensure they are making progress. If the employee continues to making mistakes despite consistent training and guidance, and they are not learning from those errors, it may indicate that the role simply isn't the right fit for them. In that case, it might be time to explore other options. Refusing to collaborate is often a sign that the employee feels uncomfortable working with others. Instead of jumping to conclusions, this is a coaching opportunity. Encourage them to participate in smaller group projects and provide feedback on how their behavior affects team outcomes. Offer communication workshops or mediation sessions if necessary. If after multiple attempts to improve collaboration, the employee remains uncooperative or isolated, it may be time to acknowledge that they are not a team player. In team environments, this can be highly disruptive, and sometimes the best decision is to part ways if it's fundamental for them to know how to work with a team. Ethical concerns are serious, but not all ethical missteps are intentional. Depending on the severity, there may be room for coaching. Ensure the employee fully understands the company's ethical standards. Provide training and compliance and clear boundaries. In some cases, ethical violations occur because the employee wasn't properly informed. If the employee knowingly and repeatedly violates ethical standards, this is a non-negotiable area where parting ways is often the best option. Integrity is crucial for any team, and ethical breaches cannot be ignored. If an employee is stagnating, it's often a sign that they aren't being challenged or even seeing a future for themselves in the role. This is a perfect opportunity to coach them toward new growth opportunities. And it's 100% fine if the employee is just enjoying the role and they don't want to grow. But you can work with them to set new career goals or offer them projects that stretch their abilities. You can create a professional development plan that includes new responsibilities or learning opportunities. If, after coaching and offering new growth opportunities, the employee remains unmotivated and stagnant, it may be a sign that they have outgrown the role or lost interest entirely. At this point, it may be time to help them transition to a different role if they are no longer meeting the expectations of the role. Each of these situations is an opportunity for coaching first. Firing should always be the last option after you have exhausted all efforts to support and guide your employees. If they remain resistant to change and show no improvement, then it might be time to part ways. But as a leader, your first goal is always to help your team grow and always document that journey. Unless for any reason your company does not have the resources and time and you were hired under a hire fast and fire really fast culture. Unfortunately, those type of places can be unfair with people, and the best thing that you could do as a manager if you work at a place like that is to explain them when they join your team that that's the culture that the company has. Remember that people is complex and we can change. We just need guidance, education, clear communication, and respect. See you in the next video. Bye.